Hi there, I'm Donnie Gladfelter, one of the AutoCAD specialists here at CAD Microsystems, and today I'm incredibly excited to share with you a first look at AutoCAD 2020. Now, when you open the software for the first time, one of the first things you're likely to notice is the new color scheme. The dark theme, the default, and what I find most users tend to prefer anyway, now features a modern dark blue aesthetic. And a really small annoyance that this addresses is the fact that the color scheme even extends to the title bar of the interface. So the title bar here matches that color scheme, and it's not white or some other color that is in contrast to the rest of the interface. Arguably more important than that, however, is the fact that gradients are gone from contextual ribbons. So if I open up the text editor by placing a piece of text, you'll notice that the contextual tab no longer has a gradient here, but instead a solid color matching the rest of the user interface. I really dig this new look. Now, the fresh coat of paint is great, but what about actual core functionality enhancements? And one of the first areas we have to talk about focuses on blocks. And we all know just how critical a role blocks play in most AutoCAD drawings. And the 2020 release aims to make inserting those a bit easier. In fact, with 2020, we get a brand new blocks palette. And I'll find this where I find all other palettes. So next to tool palettes, properties, and sheet set manager, you'll find a new neighbor here called blocks. And when I open this up, we get the blocks palette. And just like any palette you've used inside AutoCAD, you can choose to have this floating. You can dock it to one side of the window or another. You can, of course, also have it anchored to the left or right of the interface. However you choose to display it, once it is open, it provides, I think, a far more dynamic and fluid way of inserting blocks in my drawing. So let's say, as an example, I wanted to add some chairs to this island here. I just come down here and choose the insertion options I'd like. So I want to specify an insertion point and a rotation, but the scale and whether or not to explode it or not is all good to me. I also have a really handy function here that is repeat placement. So in my case, maybe I want to insert 2 chairs. I can do that with one action. So choosing these insertion options, I'll find the chair I want to insert based on the thumbnail in this gallery. I'll just go ahead and click on that chair, and now I can just go ahead and place that in my drawing. And since I had repeat placement selected, it allows me to continue inserting as many chairs as I need until I hit escape to exit out of that command. So this is a functionality I really, really dig inside AutoCAD 2020. Now, going beyond that, if I am looking to just sort of interrogate this drawing and maybe query some things about it, we have an all new measure command inside AutoCAD. So if I just come over here to the measure tool, in the past, you're accustomed to picking 2 points, but now when I use the measure command, I can just hover inside the area that I want to measure. And I can see that this dining room table, as an example, is 9 feet by 3'9". And if I just move my cursor out into the room area here, I can see that that table is placed inside a room that is 16'9" by 15 feet in this case. So all you have to do here is just hover over what it is you would like to measure, and it is going to give you those measurements in real time. This is the way I've frankly always wished the measure command would have worked inside AutoCAD, and now it does with 2020. Now, going beyond that, you might recall that in 2019, one of the new features we had was an all-new drawing compare tool, and in 2020, Autodesk builds upon that foundation. So if I come over here to the Collaborate tab, I'll find the Drawing Compare tool. And just like before, I can select the original version of this drawing, and AutoCAD is going to compare it to the current version and identify all of the changes. Now, one of the first things to note here is what AutoCAD hasn't done, and that is required me to create a new drawing. So in 2020, with the Drawing Compare tool, your comparisons are done inside the host drawing itself, which I think is great. And this also paves the way for a sort of real-time analysis of this drawing. So as an example, let's say I'm working in this drawing and I decide I would like to extend out this kitchen island by a couple of feet. So I'll just come over here and use my stretch command to pick up this island and maybe extend it out by 2 feet. AutoCAD is going to perform the drawing compare analysis in real time and show me that change as it happens. So I really, really appreciate this functionality. Now, we all know the importance of maintaining a clean drawing inside of AutoCAD, and the Purge command is, of course, central to that process. And so with this in mind, inside 2020, we see a new design of the Purge command itself. So if I come over here to the Manage tab under Cleanup, you'll find that there are actually now 2 buttons that open up different parts of the Purge command. I'm going to start with just the basic Purge command here for a moment, because when I open this up, you'll notice that the Purge dialog itself has been sort of redesigned here, and we have an all new layout. The good news is here under the Purgeable Items sort of toggle, all of the functionality I've had in the past remains here. So I can pick these items, I can pick them individually, purge them, all of that. No change in functionality, just a slightly different coat of paint. Now, what I do find incredibly helpful, though, and something that really solves a core problem that I've had in AutoCAD, knowing that we need to keep our drawings as clean as possible, we've all had that experience where no matter what we do, there's that 1 or 2 items that will not purge from the drawing, and we can't find where it's used. And by the nature of the way the Purge command works, we know that it's used somewhere, but we have just absolutely no idea where. And so this is where if I come over to the Find Non-Purgeable Items tab, or I click it directly here in the Ribbon tab, it is going to show all of the items I cannot purge from this drawing. So they're used in some way. And with this, if I pick on one of them as an example, it's going to give me a preview. And I think more helpfully or more usefully, it's going to give me possible reasons of why this block cannot be purged in this case. And it tells me that it's inserted in the drawing somewhere. Well, where is it inserted? This is where this details panel comes into play. It tells me the file size impact of this block, how many times it's used, and I can also click the select objects right here. This will actually take me to the drawing itself, take me to model space, and select that particular item in the drawing. From here, I can just go ahead and hit the delete key to get rid of it if I needed to purge it. And now if I come back to the Purge command, I'll be able to purge that particular item. So this Find Non-Purgeable Items, while we've always been able to identify non-purgeable items, the additional context that this provides me will let me maintain far, far cleaner drawings using 2020, which should pave the way to better performing drawings. Now, speaking of drawing performance, one feature that you might not notice are some of the under the hood improvements. And so first and foremost, installation of AutoCAD 2020 should be far faster than it's been in the past. On solid state drives, AutoCAD 2020 installs about 50% faster than before. In our test, the average install time is around 3.5 minutes. So that's a great, great improvements over some previous versions of AutoCAD. And once you have AutoCAD installed, something else you'll likely notice is that save times are dramatically improved. In testing, an average drawing is now going to save in about a half a second, where in the past that was more like 1.5 seconds. So the improvement is about 1 second faster than before. Of course, your mileage will vary depending on the types of drawings that you're using, but you should notice that AutoCAD saves drawings far, far faster. All in all, AutoCAD 2020 is what I think to be a great release, and it includes several feature-rich enhancements. And while the desktop version is likely what you're most interested in, I should mention that the web and mobile experience is also much improved. We'll save that for another video, but each are worth your time to explore, as the promise of anywhere, anytime access is no longer a sort of a pipe dream promise, but rather a present-day reality. On behalf of the entire team here at CAD Microsystems, thanks so much for joining me for this first look at AutoCAD 2020. Should you need any help with AutoCAD 2020 or any of Autodesk's 2020 releases, let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Once again, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you soon. Take care.